Pro wrestling is one of the most unique forms of storytelling in the modern world, mixing reality and fiction to the point where the lines are often blurred. There are things that this genre can do that no other genre can. Throughout the years, the types of stories pro wrestling has offered have been varied, and to that extent, have had varied levels of success. Over the last year, WWE's story of Sami Zayn trying his hardest to be part of Roman Reigns' Bloodline faction has been one of the industry's best. But why is it so successful? Could it be that people really love Sami Zayn? Could it be that Roman Reigns has entered that phase of his career where he is the superstar we were told he was years ago? Is it just good timing? Well, it's a bit of all of these things, and perhaps something more. For sports entertainment fans, Sami Zayn has been an entertaining character from his debut on NXT almost a decade ago. Whether it is as an underdog trying to fight his way through a road to redemption, or a comedy act bringing smiles to faces, the WWE audience has always had a great relationship with Zayn. Seeing him in a prominent spot in the main event scene has boosted his popularity as well. Then there's Roman Reigns, the man who was touted as the next big thing for so many years, even though fans thought otherwise. In 2021, he made the turn that everyone had hoped for and went heel, or bad guy, aligning himself with one of the best promo villain managers of all time, Paul Heyman. After that, Reigns has been on the path many thought he could always get to. And let's not forget the supporting players here, including Heyman, Solo, Jimmy, and above all, Jey Uso, who may very well be the keystone of this whole storyline. But there's something else at play here, and that would be relevance. In my opinion and observation, pro wrestling storylines have always been their best when they tapped into something that existed in the outside world. Whether it was the Freebirds and the Von Erichs, symbolizing the clash between urban life and suburban life, Dusty Rhodes appealing to blue-collar workers, the NWO appealing to the rebellious nature of the counterculture 90s, and even Austin versus McMahon, where people could vicariously live through flipping off an overbearing boss, wrestling's greatest stories have always touched on things everyone in the culture can feel at the time. So what is it that Sami Zayn and the Bloodline touch on? Well, there are a few things, but one of those that stands up to me is tribalism. In today's world, especially online, there's been an overabundance of my side versus your side. The wrestling industry is rife with it, having fans of WWE hate fans of AEW and vice versa. But what the Zayn Bloodline story touches on goes a bit deeper, and that is the feeling that you have to struggle to be part of a group you want to be with, while constantly aware that you can be removed or canceled from that group at any time. Zayn spent week after week attempting to prove himself to Roman and the Bloodline. He threw himself in the line of fire over and over to protect the Usos and even Reigns himself. And no matter what he did, there was always a chance that this week could be the one where they boot him out of the group. Anyone on social media can relate to this, walking on eggshells constantly because you don't want to be the one the hounds come after, agreeing with things you don't necessarily agree with just to remain part of the tribe. Even outright accepting lies and embarrassment, all to win over the good graces of those who are setting the table, so to speak. There are for sure other elements at play here, but I don't think it's an overstatement to point out that this mythos created by Zayn, the Usos, Heyman, Reigns, Triple H, and others in WWE speak to this aspect of our society, even if we're unaware of it. As stated before, the best wrestling stories tend to mirror something in our culture. WWE hit on something here, and if they continue to find these ties and integrate them into sports entertainment, there may be more good things coming from Connecticut as far as storytelling is concerned in the future.